Hi, we're the Mouse Couple, and we are currently at the Pan Pacific Hotel here in beautiful Vancouver after we just got off the beautiful Disney Wonder for our Alaskan cruise vacation. So now it's time to talk about the sailing, our time in Vancouver, and show you a few of the goodies we picked up to take home with us when we leave Canada tomorrow morning. So let's get started.
So to kick off our review of the whole trip, starting with the Vancouver side of stuff before the cruise.
We flew Delta via their Canadian partner WestJet.
True.
And we splurged and spent about $30 extra to be in their premium seating.
Yeah, it was like $30 to $35 per seat to be the premium upgrade, which was extra legroom and included a cocktail on board, and supposedly, or it also had the earlier access to the plane.
Right. We were boarding group 2. We were like,
right.
What?
And supposedly, if you are flying out of Vancouver, it is a separate security line.
So we're excited to check that out tomorrow.
Yeah.
But that was we had a nice time on the plane. Would recommend that little upgrade if you can swing it. And then after going through customs, which was pretty easy.
Yeah, customs was very easy.
But I mean, we were all decked out in Disney stuff, and they're like, "Why are you in Canada?" And I said, "We're going on a Disney cruise." And they were like, "Wow, have fun!" And that was pretty much customs.
Pretty much.
Which was very funny. But then we got bags and such, did the customs thing, and boarded the SkyTrain. And we took the SkyTrain all the way from the airport to the last stop, which was Canada Place as exit.
Yes.
We went out the wrong door.
True.
We went out the Cordova Street exit and should have gone out the other one.
Yes.
So it was a slightly longer hike to get to the hotel, but we made it. The SkyTrain itself was fine. It was fairly busy because it was about 9 o'clock on a Saturday night, and the young folks were out to partay, but we made it. It was totally fine. So we were able to buy the tickets at the airport. Definitely recommend your Wise card.
Yes. If you did not see our video after our European trip, definitely recommend using the Wise card for all of your international travel. I will put somewhere up above or down below the referral code if you want to.
If you want to try Wise. Basically, this is not like an ad. This is not SponCon. This is just...
We use it. We think it's very easy.
Yeah, this is just something that has made our trips so much better and made us more comfortable traveling internationally.
Definitely.
So definitely the Wise card is something we recommend. But we made it and we checked into our hotel, the Pan Pacific, where we are right now, once again.
Yes.
And the hotel itself was, I mean, it's a very nice hotel. We had a nice view of the pool, which, as I said previously, I felt like I couldn't look out the window without feeling like a creep staring at people in the pool. But other than that, it was a beautiful view, and we were happy. And then we spent a day in Vancouver. We had a really nice time exploring Gastown. The clock is even more out of time now than it was then.
True.
Because we popped back by there today.
It's been a week and it's like 15 extra minutes out of time.
But we went to Gastown, but before that, we did a wine tour.
Yes.
And we talked about that in the previous video. It was very fun. If you want more information about that, check out that video.
Indeed.
But did the wine tour, had a really lovely dinner at Water Street Cafe. The salmon was great.
Salmon was fantastic and probably the best salmon of the whole trip.
Yeah, and it was from their Sunday prix-fixe menu. So would again definitely recommend that. But that was pretty much the pre-embarkation day.
Would also recommend the cruise package for Pan Pacific. Yes. Pre-cruise.
Yeah.
That made it very welcoming, very easy. The cruise package includes the room. It includes baggage transferred on your embarkation day from your room to the ship. Otherwise, they do offer that as well, but they do charge for it. And it also included breakfast for both of us on both of our nights pre-cruise. So we did spend 2 nights here pre-cruise. So it was breakfast in their restaurant downstairs in the lobby.
On Sunday morning and Monday morning before embarkation.
Right. And it was a breakfast buffet. Very decent sized buffet. So
there were some decent offerings.
Yes.
It was not the best food in the world, but you would definitely be fed and fine and full.
True.
But at that point, the other tip with the cruise package is to try to get your luggage that you don't want to carry aboard the ship packed and called down to Bell Services ASAP in the morning.
Yeah. They start at 7 a.m. Would recommend calling as close to 7 a.m. as possible.
Right, because the wait times will increase if you wait to call them.
I think we called it like 7:15, and the Bell Services man was up here in like 3 minutes.
5 minutes tops.
Yeah. Whereas today, when we dropped off our luggage with Bell Services coming back off the ship, there was people waiting for 15 minutes plus.
They said that they answered the phone and told someone it would be 15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, that if you want to get on board at your boarding port arrival time.
True.
So
and that was like 9:30, so that wasn't too much later either.
They said that was their peak time.
Yeah.
So I think everybody kind of takes their time and gets their act together in the morning, and then everybody's waiting at the same time. So if at all possible, if you're doing the cruise package, try to get your bags down ASAP. And just so it's done and dealt with.
Very true.
But then we were able to board the Disney Wonder.
Yes.
The boarding process itself was pretty simple. It was a little confusing because there was a Holland America cruise leaving the same day.
And like some bike tours. So there were just people crisscrossing constantly.
There were also times that people were in Disney scarves saying go this way, and there were also times that there were people in Holland America scarves saying go a certain way. So there was one point that I thought we'd gone the wrong way. It was a little confusing, but once we got where we were supposed to be, it was totally fine.
Right.
But then we were able to board, and then the fun began.
Yeah. So, review first of the Wonder as a whole. Mm-hmm. I know we talked a lot in previous videos about the whole room issue.
And I mean, we can touch on that a little bit,
right.
But...
So, basically, the Wonder seems to be in a little worse off shape than the Magic.
There were some cosmetic issues that we noticed. There was a little more visible rust. There was a little bit more, just things looked a little more rough around the edges, like some paints chip, or like, you know what I'm trying to say. There were things near the ceiling where the ceiling met the wall that it looked a little off in our room, and then
around the ship.
The ship. There were some issues with the carpet.
Yeah, the carpet overall just seemed pretty worn, especially in the atrium. But then outside of our second room,
on the fifth floor, something happened and it was wet
and warped.
It was like,
yeah,
and it was kind of smelly because it was like that wet carpet smell. But they had industrial fans blowing in the hallway because we were like, okay, we're in a wind tunnel now. But overall, she's still a beautiful ship.
Mm-hmm.
I think she just needs some TLC. The Wonder is overdue for a little bit of extra love.
Very much so.
But having been over in Australia, in Alaska,
right? It's been doing the 15-night trans-Pacific cruises to Australia. So
the Wonder's taken the most beating out of all the ships, it seems like.
Yeah.
So hopefully they'll get her kind of tuned up soon. And again, we had the issue with our room. We were able to be in the room that we selected for essentially half of the cruise.
Right.
Before we were moved. The first day, we had a pretty balcony veranda, the navigator's veranda, but the wood had been freshly varnished. So we could not go out on the veranda pretty much that day. By the time we got back to the room, it was dark out. And then so we were able to access it the next day, and we were really happy with the Navigator's veranda. That was one of the main reasons that we chose this room. We thought it was very cute. We wanted, expecting Alaskan weather, a more enclosed balcony to be able to kind of avoid the elements a bit more.
Right.
So would recommend the Navigator's veranda.
Yeah, and would actively seek out a Navigator's veranda on the Magic or the Wonder moving
Especially
forward.
for an Alaskan cruise.
Yeah.
Because the time we had in that room and on that balcony, we very much enjoyed.
Yeah.
But to quickly recap, a pipe burst in the wall.
Yes.
And from what we knew about it, it was, we had some leaks in our room, but none of our stuff was impacted or damaged, but our neighbors next door noticed water in their room. I don't know if any of their belongings were hurt. But basically on our Skagway day, by the time we came back to the room, the water had been shut off. We were told that we needed to move, that there was another room for us, there was an upgrade, and so we were very stressed.
Yeah.
It's the day before his birthday, and we just don't really know what's going on, and just try to pack up and get to the new place. And it wasn't until later that we learned that the pipe had burst.
True.
And we don't know when that happened. Essentially, at some point on the Skagway
Yeah, sometime in the
day,
8 hours we were off the ship.
because that was a long excursion that we did. But then we moved to the second room, which was, I mean, we'll be honest, it was...
It was an upgrade on paper, but a downgrade in our eyes.
Yeah.
Because it was a small, less floor space, less storage. The balcony was smaller and not what we wanted. So we wanted the Navigator's veranda.
There was also a lot of visible rust on the balcony.
Yeah.
It was, my biggest thing is that it was in the very back of the ship, and it was very, very loud and very, very wiggly. And there were times that our sleep was impacted. There was also lots of random noise. Like, I'll see if I can get this to play. This is, I think, our neighbor showering, but it sounded in the room like... So we were just hearing all sorts of weird random noises.
Yeah.
Especially feeling the motion in the back of the boat as well.
True.
Because we do our best to avoid the very front and back. The Navigator's veranda was about...
As far back as we were willing to go.
Right. It was about 10 or 12 rooms before this room that we were assigned after the incident, and 2 floors up. So for us, it was, we were not thrilled. We asked multiple times if we could go back, but based on the damage that happened in our room, that was not possible. And the folks at guest services did their absolute best and were incredibly kind, and we really appreciate everything that they did for us. And it was just a sad situation. I mean, nobody wants a Disney beautiful cruise ship to have a problem like that.
Yeah.
So I think everybody was just kind of sad.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we had a place to sleep. We were mostly able to sleep.
Yeah.
And we still had a wonderful time. So with that being said, would definitely recommend 7626, the Navigator's veranda.
Or any Navigator's veranda.
Any Navigator's veranda, as long as there's no pipe issues, which, knock on wood, hopefully that's the last of it, and all of the Disney Wonder ships will be in tip-top sailing shape.
Yeah. Kind of tailing on to the lovely assistance from guest services that we had in our sailing.
Mm-hmm.
The cast and crew as a whole on the Wonder was
really wonderful.
outstanding. This has been the first time where, specifically with the photographers, made it a point to look and like remember the names as they're scanning the key cards, and then call you by name the rest of the sailing. So we had a couple of people do that, and that was very special. It just seems like more of a close knit, I don't want to say family, but essentially like a family of crew.
Well, it's just a smaller. That's what happens on the smaller ships.
True.
You see people more often, and
Yeah.
it just is. That's one thing that's hard about like the newest of the new ships in the fleet.
True.
It's a little more detached because it's so big. It's like living in a big city versus a small town. That's kind of the best way I can explain it.
True.
But the photographers were great. We also had 2 great stateroom hosts since we had 2 straight staterooms. We had Powell, who was super nice, super personable. He was very present in the halls, and his service was great.
Yes.
We were very happy with Powell. On the second end of the sailing, we had Kim, and he was a little quieter.
He was.
But he gave extra chocolates and did 2 towel animals a day. So we were very spoiled with both of the guys that we had for our staterooms. And it's always nice to be so spoiled on Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah. Tailing onto that as well, the guests were also very, very nice on this sailing. Similar to the Treasure.
Yeah.
People willing to just chat and give things and whatnot. In the WhatsApp group or Facebook group, it's a lot of like, hey, I have an extra shirt that doesn't fit anymore. Does anybody want it? Or, hey, I've been sailing so long that I don't really need extra tote bags, extra Castaway Club gifts. Does anybody want them? So that was a consistent thing throughout the sailing.
And even just like tips for how to try to see the Northern Lights, or we saw a whale off this side of the boat, hurry, blah, 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 that kind of thing.
So many subgroups in the WhatsApp chat. We were in 3 of them. We were in the general.
Well,
I
you
was
were.
in 3.
I just go, huh? Oh, okay.
I was in the general chat, I was in the Northern Lights chat, and I was in the animal sightings chat. So, very fun. People being very helpful. So, that was cool to see, as per usual. But again, smaller ships, you get that more close-knit feel. Wonder versus the Magic, there's a couple differences.
Well, going back to the people, the dining team, we were taken Krishna and Wes took very good care of us. We were very happy with them, and Wes was a hoot.
He was.
Krishna was more serious, and Wes was the comic relief, but did a very good job while he was making us laugh.
Yes, almost every night he would serenade just the remaining people at the end of the night with whatever song he was feeling that day.
Yeah.
Sometimes Krishna would come out and play his makeshift guitar of pepper grinder and cloche, but yeah, it was fun.
But basically, there were so many people, both crew and guests, who made the sailing very special for us.
Yes.
Well, we celebrated Robbie's birthday.
Indeed. So differences in the ships, Magic versus Wonder. Because we love the Magic. If you've not seen our previous vlogs, Magic is probably our favorite ship overall, and still is. Spoiler alert. The Wonder has Tiana's place, whereas the Magic has Rapunzel's royal table.
I think so.
Tiana's was kind of a letdown.
Tiana's, the show element was mostly a band playing, and they were great.
Yeah.
But it was very loud, and there really wasn't much of a story to what was happening.
No.
Especially the first night, it was basically,
we're just here.
Welcome to my restaurant. And Tiana kind of walked around and the band played.
Yeah. And it was the same band as the French Quarter Lounge right outside as well.
But that was basically the plot for night 1. Night 2, it was, we're celebrating Mardi Gras. And there's a band here. And there's food. and stick around and there'll be a parade.
Yeah.
Or a surprise. Which, surprise, the surprise was a parade. So, and it was fine. It was totally fine. I think just compared to the show element with Rapunzel's restaurant, there's just such a storyline of what is happening.
True.
We have not done a sailing on the Magic long enough to see the second show that they do, which I know involves lanterns and such. But, or did we see the lantern?
We saw the lantern.
Well, there's another one.
I don't know what the other one is.
There's a second one that we haven't seen. So, would love to see that at some point.
Yeah.
But basically, the theming is great in both restaurants, but the band was just very, very loud.
True.
And played well, but there wasn't as much going on as some of the dinner shows. We're also coming off of the Coco restaurant
Right.
on the Treasure a few months ago. So, which was probably the best dinner show
By far.
on the Disney Cruise Line fleet currently.
Yes.
So Tiana's is going up against Coco, and it kind of fell flat.
It did.
And it was still nice. It was still fine.
Yeah.
But it didn't have the wow factor that the Coco restaurant had.
Food-wise was also kind of a letdown.
In general, the food we'd had on the Magic was pretty excellent.
Yeah. There were a couple standout dishes on this sailing.
But it was a little more hit or miss
Yeah.
overall. So, I mean, we were full, we were fed. There were some things that were great, there were some things that were okay, and there were some things that were less than okay.
Yeah.
For the most part, things were good. So, basically, you will be fine. There will be plenty of good food for you to eat on Disney Cruise Line, and we're not trying to say that you'll go hungry.
No, not at all.
But compared to other sailings that we've done in the past, this was not the best food that we'd had.
Right.
And some of that was flavor, some of that was the way things were prepared, and in general, most things were good or better.
Yeah.
So
Frozen Night was its own thing.
the Frozen show compared to Pirate Night was
pretty lame.
It just wasn't as exciting.
Yeah. There's no special effects because they can't do the fireworks and stuff, which I understand being around the mountains and stuff. They can't make excess noises.
I didn't mind that. I just thought the show itself, it was similar to some of the other ones Disney Cruise Line does, where it's mostly a dance party.
True.
And they also have the elements like the zip line and then the drop, where a character can like drop down from near the top of the funnel. And neither of those were used. And I don't know if that was weather or if neither of those are just utilized in the show. But a lot of the things that are very dynamic in the pirate shows that they have across the Disney fleet, it was a little more static.
Yeah.
Because everybody was pretty much just on the little stage and it was come and go and mostly just dancing. So it was fine. Basically, we saw it. I don't think we would go out of our way to see it again.
No.
Unless we were with somebody who wanted to see it.
Yeah. And we have talked before, I think we mentioned it before, but the Frozen dinner was also not nearly as good as Pirate dinner.
And I think it was probably the weakest dinner across the board.
Yeah. Because we were saying that if we were to do the Alaska sailing again, personally, we would do Palo dinner on the night of
Glacier
Frozen
Day.
Night, which is Glacier Day. So, and Frozen Night is on other ships as well. It's on any ship that goes kind of north. So I think the northern
like the
England ones.
The fjords.
Yeah.
But, and I think some of that some of the issues with that meal were there were some issues with the kitchen, and we could tell based on how our servers were dealing with things.
True.
That there were some problems back behind the scenes that they were trying to manage. But that was pretty much the weakest dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we were full, we were fed, and it was totally fine. But I think Pirate Night is better than Frozen Night.
Yes.
I'm still glad we got to experience it though, because Olaf shimmying like this was hysterical.
Yeah.
And made me very happy.
And then
But I guess the entertainment though, or do you want to talk about other things first?
In what sense?
We talked about the shows.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the next big difference is the theater shows on the
The embarkation show, and
I guess true embarkation show as well.
The sail away party and the till we meet again, the exact same.
Yes.
Except instead of Disney Magic, it's Disney Wonder, and that's it. Like that's otherwise it's the exact same.
And Sail Away was not actually at Sail Away.
No, we had already left, and they're like, "Are you ready to begin your vacation?" And we're like, "We've already been doing stuff, but okay."
Half the ship already had dinner.
Yeah.
So.
But it actually starts now. The cruise didn't start before; it starts now.
Right.
But beyond that, odd fact, it was identical to the Magic. So, again, we like those shows.
Mm-hmm.
So we were happy with those. The theater shows were Golden Mickey's, Frozen, and Disney Dreams.
Yes. And then a couple miscellaneous ones. We had a juggler, we had a magician. We didn't go to the magician.
That was...
that's not Disney's cast. That's just a guest artist that comes in.
The magician was the night that everything went crazy with the room.
Yes.
We had hoped to go see him, but it did not happen. But we did his workshop later, but we can talk about that after the shows. Disney Dreams had been... No, not Disney Dreams. Golden Mickey's had been updated since we saw it last, and I thought the updates were good.
Yeah, we saw it on the Dream
in Europe.
Last in Europe.
So about a year and a few months ago.
But they updated some of the videos. They updated some of the technical elements.
Tim Allen is now not a young man.
Right.
And it was good. It was very fun. The audience seemed to really enjoy it.
Yes.
I don't think it's still our fave.
No, it's still not the favorite show, but it was significantly better.
We enjoyed it a lot more, and I think the crowd was really with it this time. The second show was Frozen. It was very similar to when we saw it on the Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
A solid show. Children everywhere in princess dresses.
Huge crowd.
Yeah, this probably drew the biggest crowd of all of the performances.
Yes.
So, very fun. And then Disney Dreams.
Yes. Had
technical difficulties, but was still great. People seemed to really enjoy it as well. I think it's a little bit dated at this point.
Yeah.
Just because the little girl is supposed to be starting middle school, and I don't know that middle schoolers sound or act like the way the character is in the play.
True. This show's been around since the beginning, so this has been around since '98.
And there have been updates. She's playing on a tablet and doing things like that, but it still reads as very, very young, and kids are growing up so fast these days. But we still enjoyed it. It's similar, very similar to Believe, but we really enjoy Believe because
I would Believe better.
Because we're getting old and relate to the father now, I guess. But entertainment was fun, and attached to the entertainment, they also had a magician class and a juggling class. So the magic class was standing room only and crazy busy, and it was more organized.
It was, yeah.
There was a structure to it. The juggling class was, we're going to watch a 10-minute video about different types of juggling, and then you have 20 minutes to try.
Yeah.
Fly, be free. So...
balls flying everywhere.
Yes.
So... That was just chaos.
So they were fun, but I don't know that we would go to juggling class again, maybe. Magic class if it was different tricks, maybe. But juggling class, it was a little bit of a duck and cover situation every once in a while.
It was.
Even if it was just you standing there or sitting there while I was like, you know. But that was unique to these ships, as well as the dueling pianos.
That was super fun.
It was very, very cool. I wish that it had started a little bit earlier because it went to midnight.
Yeah.
And there was so much going on the ship that it was hard to stay up so late and then get up early. But it wasn't really a duel situation.
No, it just went back and forth.
It was Piano Party is the company. They're on Instagram if you want to look them up. But it's basically 2 pianos on stage, 2 performers, and it's this crazy rush of people doing requests. And sometimes it'll be like, there was an ABBA medley, and people asking for different things, and just all sorts of different things. There was Sweet Caroline, it was just Piano Man.
Hamilton, there was Greatest Showman.
It was all over the place. I've got friends in low places.
Right.
So all sorts of different genres of music. It was very cool. And the performers were just playing it on the fly. Yeah. So kudos to them because they're incredibly talented. And it was very cool to watch. My only thing is that I wish it had started a little bit earlier so we could have stayed longer and enjoyed more of it.
True.
That's basically my only beef with Piano Party. That we want to go to bed at a reasonable time. But those were some of the coolest entertainment offerings.
Mm-hmm.
There were also lots of character meet and greets. It was odd that only Mickey and Minnie came out on formal night, but
semi-formal night was everybody else.
Right. Everybody else seemed to come out on semi-formal. The characters were out in their Alaskan outfits several times. They were out in them, of course, on Glacier Day.
The whole time we were in Alaska, they came out in their outfits, except for semi-formal night.
Goofy has 2 outfits.
Yes.
On the Ketchikan Day, he wore his second outfit, the lumberjack outfit. So, I guess, hot tip, try to catch Goofy in that special outfit if you've already seen him in the alpine outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And we also were able to see Coda only on Glacier Day.
Yes.
So that was also very special and fun and unique to the Alaskan cruise.
Yeah.
We had a great time in the ports.
Yeah, so it's the transition to Alaska, to the Alaskan aspect of it, weather-wise, was absolutely incredible.
It was crazy.
I don't understand what happened. We sailed in the last week of August, so today we got off the ship, and today is
September 1st.
Yeah, so today's Labor Day. So we had, I think every day was 60s or 70s.
And sunny.
Like, pretty much not a cloud in the sky every single day. In every single port, every single sea day, and our days in Vancouver. So I don't know what happened, but this does not feel like Alaska or like Canada as we anticipated.
No, we packed all sorts of rain gear and cold gear and wore and used some of it, but
Glacier Day was the coldest.
Yes, as we anticipated.
Yeah. A lot of the other days in our pictures and our videos, you might see us wearing heavier stuff. We could have worn less layers.
And sometimes took things off when we got hot.
Yes.
But the weather was crazy. Glacier Day, I think, was probably...
Glacier is beautiful.
Probably the highlight of the cruise.
Standing in line, waiting for Mickey, and seeing whales just off of the ship. One breached, several tails, several spouts.
We didn't mind waiting in line because it was so cool to watch all the wildlife.
Right.
And just talk to the people around us. And, oh, there's a whale over here. Look over here. Oh, da-da-da-da-da. So it was just really nice. And then the glacier boat excursion was kind of...
incredible.
The cherry on top of that.
Yeah.
And again, we said it in the video, there's going to be people who say, it's not worth it. It's so worth it. You don't need it, etc., etc., etc. But we definitely enjoyed it. I think we would do it again.
Yes.
The boat was able to get pretty close, but they did not get as close as we got. And they were only able to get so close because of the good weather.
True.
If the weather conditions had not been so favorable, we would have been exponentially closer than the Disney Wonder.
True. But yeah, so that was Glacier Day. The first port that we had was Skagway. Skagway was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
The whole town is basically just the train. But we also learned that the whole town basically shuts down outside of the cruise season.
Mm-hmm.
And people leave and go elsewhere. So that was interesting as well. So as a whole, Skagway is fairly touristy just because all the shops there are meant for the tourists.
There are some local businesses, but there were a lot of souvenir shops.
Yeah. But the train ride and that whole excursion was very, very cool. Very picturesque the whole time. Lots of good photo stops on the bus, and then the train ride back, kind of standing outside on the
Little platform viewing area
Yeah.
type.
was very, very cool. And the stop at Bennett was very cool.
We didn't realize that was happening. We should have read the description of our excursion that we booked. But it was very cool to hike up to the lookout point and see beautiful British Columbia.
Mm-hmm.
Again, would recommend that excursion for adults, not for children.
Yes.
It was very long.
Yes.
So
The 4.5 hour train ride back was a little bit long. The 2 hour bus ride went by pretty quick, so we stopped several times along the way. But yeah, that was Skagway. And then our next port was Juneau, which is the capital. So a lot more of a bustling city. Where the ship docks is still very touristy.
well, where we docked, we had to take a free bus into town.
True.
So, because that's where the Wonder docks, it would be about a 15 to 20 minute walk, and a lot of it was uphill.
Yes.
So we did not do that. We took the shuttle bus, and then our excursion was basically a transfer to Mendenhall Glacier and whale watching.
Mhm.
Would go to Mendenhall Glacier again. It was beautiful. We loved the waterfall and could have spent a lot more time exploring there. But we only had an hour before we had to leave to go whale watching. And the whale watching tour, we had a really nice time. The biggest thing is that we saw so many whales from the Wonder itself that I don't know that we would pay to go whale watching again.
True.
I know some people on their whale watching excursion saw 8, 10 whales. We saw 3.
Yeah.
So we saw about that many without paying or leaving the Disney Wonder on Glacier Day. And there's no guarantees about that. There's no guarantees that you're going to see a whale even on a whale watching tour.
This company.
This tour said that they would refund your whale watching portion of your tour if you didn't see a whale.
Right.
But I don't know that we would spend the money if we went back to Juneau. I think we might just spend more time at Mendenhall Glacier.
And do all the hikes and whatnot.
And we grabbed a bite to eat in town at Tracy's Crab.
I think it's Crab Shack.
Okay. And that was very good. So, again, we had a really nice time while watching, but I think we would just spend more time enjoying Juneau.
Yeah.
Then in Ketchikan, we just kind of walked around. We visited a brewery, and a local bought us a drink, which was very sweet. And then we got
Fish and chips.
Yeah.
And then did some shopping in the souvenir shops. Strolled through Creek Street, which is pretty cool. Saw some wildlife. Saw a seal.
2 seals.
2 seals. Chasing some salmon. We did miss it because we were already back on the ship, but people in the WhatsApp group were sharing it that there were some bears also chasing some salmon. So they got some pictures of that, and I'll include those as we're talking here too. But yeah, it was a cool little town.
It's very retro cool.
Yeah.
Skagway was felt almost like a theme park.
True.
Juneau was more of a city mixed with the Cozumel-esque hollering at people for tours, because that really wasn't happening in the other two ports.
Right.
And then Ketchikan was similar to a theme park in looks, I guess, but mostly like retro, historical, and very cool.
So,
and all of the towns were unique, and we enjoyed going to all three of them.
yes. The other component with the Alaskan cruises that we personally did not see, but several people in our cruise groups did see, was the Northern Lights.
You were able to see some faint potentially.
Potentially.
Stuff.
I'll put my picture here, but a lot of the other people on the ship got some really pretty pictures
At like
2 in the morning.
2 a.m. though.
So, going into this, I did not expect to see Northern Lights, but then I guess because of the weather that we had, some of the stuff has shifted. So they were visible, but super, super late. So I'll be putting their pictures in here just to show you how cool it looked that I saw from the ship. But yeah. And then a nice little cap to our Alaskan cruise was on our last, I think it was the last sea day. We looked out our balcony and was watching the sunset over the mountains, and then right in front of us, a whale.
Yeah.
Just to say goodbye.
It waved with its tail, like they do.
Didn't catch it on video. I think I took a slight picture of it, but yeah, it was very, very cool and very, very close.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
We just had a really nice time.
Would highly recommend an Alaskan cruise.
We would go again on an Alaskan cruise. I think it would be cool to visit Icy Strait Point or maybe another port if it was offered.
Mm-hmm.
So we're already thinking about when can we come back.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, that kind of wrapped up the cruise. So now moving into the haul. Starting with some of the free stuff that we got. I don't have it in front of me, but the stuff that was in the room for us waiting for the Castaway Club gifts. So we have the tote bag that we've gotten several times before. We have the wet dry bag we've gotten several times before. And we got the gold lanyards. Mm-hmm. My last gold lanyard.
Crazy.
From
the DVC desk, we received a welcome home magnet. It was not on the stateroom door.
Yeah,
that was a surprise, because typically you can see this magnet. I'm holding it back by me, so I can see it, but you can't see it. Magnet, that's typically on the door. It was not this time. But they gave it to us at the desk. Also, Disney Vacation Club member lanyards. Ooh, ah. And then also reusable straw, additional magnet, and a new hat.
Yes, they're blue now.
They're not white hats anymore. It's a blue Disney Vacation Club member ball cap.
Yeah.
So
we also got chapstick, but
it's somewhere packed.
But yeah, it was strange to not have the magnet on the door and then that count as one of the daily gifts.
But we got one more Disney Vacation Club freebie.
We did. This was not a daily gift. This was going to the member update. So if you are a member, you go to the update, you get a pin.
Mm-hmm.
So Disney Vacation Club, stay magical year after year with Mickey on the suitcase. So very cute.
Yes. And you also picked up a couple pins on this trip.
I did. So being that it was my first time on the Wonder, had to get a Wonder pin. So the Donald, not quite the logo, because the logo has the nephews on there as well. But weirdly, they ran out of this before we got to the shops.
Right.
But they did restock them, I think, on day 3-ish.
Yeah, because we were like, how'd you run out of the ship pins?
Right. They were like, the Alaska ones they had plenty of, but the generic, just Disney Wonder pins. They had run out of, so that was weird. I also got a pin for Palo, since I did not have this one, and we went to Palo to celebrate my birthday for brunch. So very cute. And then lastly, had to get one for the Alaska sailing. So this year's pin is Goofy fishing in the state of Alaska, and it says Alaska Disney Cruise Line.
And you also picked up one more pin.
Yes, I got a button.
A happy birthday pin.
A couple buttons, but Disney Cruise Line happy birthday button. We picked them up from the front desk, and then I was also given another one in an envelope on my birthday proper that was waiting on the fish hook outside the door. We also won a trivia.
We did. The Walt Disney Feature Animation Trivia.
We got a mini medal that says winner. So we have those now. I'm not sure if we have a mini already. We need to look at the ones that we actually have. But yeah. And then...
Well, you picked up the last things purchased on board.
True. Last thing on board. This one is not Alaska specific, but I've had my eye on this shirt for a while. They did not have it on the Treasure because all the Treasures shops were treasure specific things. But then toward the end of the sailing, I found this tucked away in the corner, so had to pick it up. But because I love Lion King, it is a Hakuna Matata Disney Cruise Line shirt. So I like this color. I like the shirt. So very happy with this.
Yes.
But picked that up as well.
The last things purchased on board were kind of iconic, and my first Disney Cruise Line plush.
Yeah.
We got Mickey and Minnie because we could not separate them.
Yes.
Well, I guess technically we got one more thing because we also got the Alaska blanket.
Yes, I purposefully did not take that out because that one is packed very strategically in the bag. But I will put a clip of that right here and show how that looks unfolded. But that was my non-negotiable.
Yes.
Wanted to get that, and that one was only I think it was $30 if you purchased at least $60.
And we did.
Yes.
We didn't go nearly as crazy as a lot of other folks, but we bought plenty.
Yes.
So, hi.
Yeah, very cute.
So they're coming home with us.
And then as far as stuff that we got in the ports, we really only got two things. Apparently.
We did. Well, we picked up some gifts that we don't know when this video is coming out, so we can't show y'all because people might see.
True. But yours was from Juneau. Or at least we picked it up in Juneau. Oh, it is from Juneau.
It's made in Juneau. They are sour wild huckleberry jelly beans.
Yes.
I don't know if y'all can see. I gotta go so you can see. We wanted to pick up some local stuff along the way, and these are a gift for my mother, who is currently cat sitting, and I miss my babies terribly right now. But we will be back with them soon.
Yes.
I don't know if you saw on the door, but there were magnets. If you watched our video, there are door magnets that are our cats in little bear hats, and they're very cute.
This is true.
So a little Easter egg for you to go back and look at our video.
Yes. And then in Ketchikan, we showed this in our Ketchikan video, but we got an ornament from the Alaska Christmas shop to commemorate our trip to Alaska. So, shape of Alaska says Alaska. It shows the mountains in the background. An eagle, since we saw an eagle on Glacier Day. A whale tail, since we did some whale watching. And then the bear. We did not see bears.
Because we saw Coda.
Oh, we saw Coda. So, cute. And this was $5 for this ornament. So, cheap little way to commemorate the trip.
And not breakable.
Right.
Lots of breakable ornaments were available throughout the cruise, but we needed something that would not break either on the way home or at home.
Yes.
But then going to our shopping today, again, we can't show a few things, but we popped in Nestor's Market, which is a local grocery store, and we picked up some maple cookies, which I believe are the equivalent of maple Oreos.
Yeah, because there is a filling in between.
Yes.
So
And they're made with real Canadian maple syrup.
there you go.
Wow. This, I believe, is their store brand.
It is.
But we also picked up a couple other little snackies. We got a coffee crisp.
For me.
I feel like I need to just hand things to you to pull it up. Coffee crisp candy bar. And for me, some wine gums, which are like a gummy, kind of like a lifesaver, but we'll try them and find out.
Yeah.
And purchased from Dollarama, which we popped in because we were looking for a smaller bag of chips because the grocery store mainly had large ones.
True.
So we don't know if these are going to make it home or if these are going to be eaten before we get home. But we picked up some ketchup flavored Lay's and some all dressed seasoned. Oh.
I think that's all dressed in French.
All dressed in French. Some all dressed Ruffles. Ruffles have ridges, and then also in the back it says Ruffles have ridges, but in French. So excited to try all the things that we cannot get back in the States.
Yeah.
And of course, wanted to bring a little bit of Canada home with us.
True.
But that's pretty much what we bought.
Yeah, we didn't go too crazy, but excited to try some of the stuff that we got and excited to use our ornament on the tree and have our Alaska blanket and just remember our lovely trip to Alaska.
So what were your highlights from the cruise?
Glacier Day.
Same.
Glacier Day was so cool. And I think just looking out kind of all of, well, pretty much Glacier Day and on, when you can look out of the ship and just see land on both sides, and at some points the ship is just riding through such a narrow passage and you can see all the details on the mountains was super cool.
It was just beautiful.
Yes.
That's the whole thing. We got lucky with the weather, so we could see all sorts of things for, like, there was no, it's raining, I can't see what's going on. It was just beautiful trees and mountains.
Yeah.
And just, it was breathtaking.
It's also very surreal to be on deck with a complimentary soft serve ice cream cone from the ice cream and in short sleeves while you're in Alaska. There's snow-capped mountains in the distance.
And kids are screaming and playing in the pool.
Yeah. And then look, a whale.
Yeah.
Like, it just, everything as a whole was just very surreal, very, very cool.
It wasn't what we expected.
No.
The cruise, there were times that things exceeded our expectations for sure. There were some, the complications with the room were kind of
everything related to Alaska exceeded.
Yes. The complications with the room, we didn't plan that, of course.
Yeah.
But the other major unplanned thing was the beautiful weather and how lucky we got along the way.
Yeah.
So, in general, we had a wonderful time. And I'm very tired. And I'm looking at all the stuff we got out to show you, and now I have to pack it all up again.
Yeah, that's next on the agenda for us. But yeah, have to pack everything up and go home tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But that kind of wraps up our trip.
But we don't need to be too sad.
No, because what's coming next for us?
By the time you see this video, we'll already be back.
Yes. We are going on another cruise.
We are.
On a different ship.
Full disclosure, we were supposed to sail in November, but with the Fantasy's dry dock being altered, our sailing was canceled. So instead, we are going on a 4-night Halloween on the High Seas cruise aboard the Disney Dream.
Yes.
And before that, we have a couple DVC stays to use points for this year because, again, we have so much crazy stuff coming up this year. It's absolutely nutty.
Yeah.
So we won't be spending too much time in Orlando in the coming year. Kind of spoiler alert for that.
True.
But so much exciting stuff coming, and it's time for spooky season.
Yeah, it's a Halloween cruise.
Yeah.
We're staying DVC before and after the cruise.
It might be New Year's by the time you see this.
True.
Or Christmas. I don't know.
Very true.
But we
Yeah.
hope you enjoy Halloween, and we hope you'll hang out with us as we go on our next Disney cruise
In like 2 weeks.
in like 2 weeks.
So
Because we're crazy.
yes. But that will do it for us for today. So thank you so much for watching and following along with our Alaskan adventure.
And celebrating your birthday.
Yes. And we will see you next time.
See you real soon.